Colossians 1 and 28. Whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahushua. Okay? So, being in this truth, it's not a 50-50 thing, man. And I've seen it a good bit of times where Jake come in and, have a, you can have a whatever mentality, being, not necessarily lukewarm as far as doing the work, but it's as far as doing your own thing, going about this thing your own way, and you know, you know, doing it how you want to do it, man. You gotta be in this thing for real, 100%. Not being a hero of the word, but a doer of the word, being perfect, man. Listening to the scriptures, listening to what Yahweh Shah said, man. Listening to the things that he said. Just naming a few, man. Sometimes it's better to use your phone, man. It's quicker. It's just quicker. Uh, Matthews 22 and 37. Yahweh Shah said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as you love yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So a lot, just because the Christians say this doesn't and that's the first thing they go to, doesn't deny it. You A lot of Jake really, I feel like I see it a lot. That a lot of Jake, even that call themselves Israelites, okay, and are so called under the circumcision, have a rough way of doing that. Just to say it, just they don't really, Jake have an evil eye towards their brother, and it's true, man. Okay, and you're not supposed to do that, man. Okay, you put Yahweh Shah was saying, turn your cheek from me, turn your cheek. If your brother, if a man smack you, turn your cheek, give him the other cheek. Okay, spiritually, man. Okay, you don't gotta address everything. Be a man. Be masculine. Everything don't need a response. That's what kids do. Every little thing you gotta respond or get your get back. Like the elder Yashua would say, you gotta get your get back. You know, and love the Lord, man. Okay, a lot of things. If you love the Lord, a lot of things you're not gonna let fly, man. Okay, if you love the Lord, man, you're not gonna do certain things, man. You're not gonna willfully go off of what the Scripture said not to do. You're not gonna willfully hate your brother. You're not gonna willfully. Uh, 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 you're not gonna get too attached to this world, man. Okay, because the Scripture said, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world." If a man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So you can't love the world, man. You can't be worried about what too much on a mass scale of what the world think of you, man. You're not supposed to be out here, being too attached to Babylon, okay? And it's a balance on it always, man. Because 50% I might go into why you do have to take this thing super serious, and then another 50% is, yeah, we under grace, and the Lord said, don't let your hearts be troubled or be afraid. But don't go too forward and don't go too backwards, man. You gotta have a balance in this thing, man. Okay, you gotta have a balance, man. You gotta be able to, watch as well as pray. Like being able to be, you gotta watch. Okay, be circumspect. Okay, because with all that being said, yeah, the end is coming and it is close. But how are you gonna be able to be protected? In these times, and you don't have the knowledge and stability of the times right now that we're in. You're erring right now, man. Doing, if you're doing wickedness, man, in the truth, or out of, if you're doing wickedness, any wickedness in the truth, you know, you going off, man. Okay? rather you're hating your brother, rather you don't really want to be in this thing, you don't really want to do it. You know, you gotta examine yourself, man. Whether you be in the faith or that you be reprobates, man. Okay? Ephesians 5, not Ephesians 5. 4:14. Tobit 4:14. Let not the wages of any man which have wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him it out of hand. For if thou be served, for if thou serve Yahweh, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation. Okay? So be circumspect in everything you do. Okay? And that means in the world as well, but in this truth too. Like you have to be reading and like you have to know what is the majority of things that you got to read the whole roll, man. Like the elder always say, you got to eat the whole roll. You got to know how to please the Lord. What is even the word charity means, man? You know, it means love. But you know Abraham was given Melchizedek, I believe, tithes. So it's like yeah, you can give tithes, but how are your mentality towards that, man? Okay, are you following what the head of the church said? Yeah, they did for one another, but we supposed to be if we supposed to be followers of Paul, how much more Peter? Because Paul said, "Be followers of me as I am of Mashiach." So how much more of a follower should you be towards Peter, man, who is the head of the church, man? He said, "I have no silver and gold. I have none." Meaning that the word is really the most important thing for real, man. So that how are your mind towards everything in this truth, man? You know, are you really loving your neighbor, man? You know, are you really do you really believe for real? Like examine yourself daily, man. You know, you know, because the worldly perspective will give you the thought to love is feminine. Like Elder Ricard made a video about that, man. Love is not feminine, man. That's what Esau taught you, man. Okay, but you see over there in Israel, they got gay parades, man. So who is he to tell us anything about femininity, any type of demasculation? Okay, Yahweh Shah loved his neighbors, man. There was no love greater than a friend that could have that he laid his life down. You know, and that's what our Lord did for us. He laid his life down for us, man. So you have to be circumspect in all that thou doest, as well as being in the world too. You gotta have your circumspect upon that too, man. You can't be no over righteous Israelite, man. You know, we are the light naturally. We are the light of the world naturally. But you don't want to have a super huge target on your back. You know, cause the reason I say that is not even because it's about you. We really, the scriptures say, how we are not of ourselves, man, but we are of the Lord. Okay, and that's how He deals with us through our temple, man. So if not for yourself, for the Lord, man, is why you should be taking care of yourself, man. You know, that's why you smoking them cigarettes and them blunts or them blacks. You need to put them things down, because that's defiling your temple. That's defiling your temple. You know, okay. But I wanted to talk about the subject um, about kissing a man. You know, as UPK had this man. He made a video about it being feminine to kiss a man. But the Lord Himself was speaking about how He never was angry at Judas because he kissed him. He was angry. Well, he wasn't angry really at all. But it was never that he was. It was never that Judas went off for kissing him. It was the fact that Judas had went off for giving him over, man. Okay, to the Romans, man. You know, and the woman kissed his feet. Okay, he was doing that in the ancient days, man. Okay, Proverbs 24:9. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. The thought is foolish. The thought is foolish. The thought of foolishness is sin, man. Okay, so it's sin to think foolishness. As a man, as a grown man, you probably have children. You might have to kiss your son, man. You haven't seen him in a long time, man. Just a small little, you know. The thought of foolishness is sin, man. Okay, So I just wanted to touch that, man, and get the topic on, the woman kissed the Lord for the foot, as well as Judas, right? All right, Luke 7:37. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahushua sat at the meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. So she kissed his feet, man. Okay, you gotta have a little maturity, man. Um, man, the scriptures say, man, my people are childish children. Not speaking about him specifically. I'm speaking about all of our people, man. A lot of our people are just, a lot of our people. That's why you gotta read, man. I gotta get it, man. I gotta get it. Blessed is he that readeth. You have to be. You gotta show yourself a man, man. You gotta show yourself a man. A lot of our people are just immature. A lot of people are just immature, and it's in the spirit, in the spiritual, because it says, "My people are foolish. My people are childish children. They are wise to do. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge." It's the Israelites that are so immature like that. You can go around the Moabite, they wicked, but they they got a little common sense. You go around the Edomite, they wicked, but they got a little common sense. You go around the Hamite, they're wicked, but they got a little common sense. It's our people that are both wicked and have no common sense. You know, yeah. Revelations 1, and like the elder Ricard said, you gotta get into those scrolls. You gotta get into the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Apocrypha, Sirach, Proverbs. Okay, but, you gotta come back to your power, man. The Edomites shouldn't be greater than you, man. The heathen shouldn't be greater than you, man. Not when the Lord has allowed, not when the Lord has allowed and put you back in, uh, not equal, but He's allowed you to get back to your power, man. This is not the time to just for don't stumble, don't keep making the same mistake. Come back to your power, man. This is what we went on in every single generation and every single kingdom, is that we would have the chance to get back to our Lord, but then we turn back on Him. No, man. This is the time where you keep pushing forward towards the Lord, man. Okay, and this this camp is a little different, man. You know, usually I just get on the topic of the wars and the prophecy, but you know, how are you gonna really even understand though? How can you, even, cope the times that are coming in, and you're still in a foolish mindset, man. Because the scriptures say, if a man say he is in the light and hate his brother, he is in darkness even until now. So like when those times come, and you can't be in darkness. You can't be like, whew, boy, Salaki. Revelations 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. Okay? You know, and, and they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things that are written therein, for the time is at hand. So you blessed not only for reading, but when you keep the things that are written, be a doer of the word, man. Be a doer of the word. James 1 and 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own souls. You got to be a doer, man. Okay? So, man, I'm and also that was love what those brothers were doing, man, over here at GMS. It was kissing, it wasn't like they was making out, man. It was a small little kiss, man. But you hating your enemies, man. I mean, you hate, yeah. I mean, your enemies. But really, Yahushua said to love your enemies, man. It's not talking about Esau. It's talking about your fellow Israelites, man. You know, how we preaching the same thing and then you come against one another, man? Like Elder Tahar said, man. Y'all always sitting up there fighting each other and then turn around and try to like a white man. How does that work? I mean, what is the word that you're preaching, man? The word that you're preaching, man. You know, it's preaching that you're the people. If you're the people, you know, you teaching about Esau, how are you gonna hate your neighbor brother like that, man? It gotta be more understanding, man. You gotta have more understanding, man. I'll switch gears a little bit, man. Okay, judgment is gonna come, man. You know, the girl, our women, she lying about being missing. Jake still committing folly, still being sinful. A sinful people laden with iniquity, man. Our people are still going off, still sin after sin, adding sin into sin, and all type of wickedness, man. So the Lord is sending out prophecy, man. You got more rumors of wars, you know. You got more rumors of wars happening. You got, seen a video just a second ago. U.S. is, they coming against Iran and U.S. are having tensions. You know, gotta stay always influenced in that. So I can get it. This works real fast. Okay. So look, Iran, U.S. is sending, Marines to Iraq, to the Middle East. Okay, tensions are going against them. Okay, U.S. is still, they're sending tanks to Ukraine. Okay, you got give me a second. Oh yeah, Ukraine is a part of the EU now. All type of in America, they were sending, they were committing that proxy war, sending stuff over there to help Ukraine. You know, so we don't know how that's gonna plan out. You might have more nations start going against Russia. Because they sending so much stuff over there, and that's what Esau does, man. He puts on himself all people, man. You know, you know, um, he don't keep at home, man. You know, we'll see how that play out, though. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm saying that could be what's happening. Possibly, more nations could just start hating Russia because Ukraine is a part of the EU, I believe. Let's see. Let me make sure though. It should be all good. Hold on, let me take that back. Putin rules. I've seen something like that. Let me look it up. Ukraine. that back. Mm. Hold on, I think I see. I think I see what I was meaning to say. Does Ukraine back up? And does NATO? Okay, basically, I've been seeing articles. You can look it up. Basically, NATO is, on the fight for, Ukraine to join them. Basically, for Ukraine to join them, and they're backing up Ukraine. Okay, they're backing up Ukraine. NATO themselves. Okay, which is allies of countries, man. You know, So for that to be the case, they're gonna make other nations kind of the more Russia, unless Russia just stop, which we don't think that will happen because they are like the biggest, most the Lord's gonna put the spirit in them to be at that military might again. So they're gonna probably because America's like trying to get get involved and stick their nose in people's businesses. So hey man, you don't know how it's gonna play out, man. Russia gonna get mad and like, well, why can't America ever mind its business? You know what I'm saying? So eventually, man, the Lord's gonna making it to where all these nations are gonna hate this place, man. Okay, then you got, as I said, you got, uh, 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 tensions between U.S. and Iran. So it's yeah, man, the Lord's gonna make it to where they all gonna hate this place, man. Because the thing about Esau is that he does do that, man. He does, you know, um, he does, um, he put to himself all people. Okay, he'll get involved in something just so he can, get money out of it, man. That's Esau, man. That's how he's always been. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his son is in his hand. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Okay, you know, he transgressed about line, man. The confusion of people, man. Even with our people, man. You know, he knew that. They knew who we were. Christopher Columbus. They all knew who we were before they, they knew who we were, man. Thousands of years ago, and they know who we are today. But they still make it as if we um just so happen to fall into their hands. No, the Lord put us here. You know, all the other nations they overpower, man. You know, try to get everybody against that people and paint a bad picture on them, man. Through his media, his witchcraft. That's what Esau do, man. You know, paint bad pictures on people. You know, and then they come in and they lie. And they get their military in might. You know, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. But they're gonna all hate this place, man. And they're weak now, man. Okay, they're weak now. You know, got women joining the army because Esau knows that when you get to the woman, you can get to the man. That's why you got all those, you got all these, you know, Ishmael women, okay, Ishmaelite women, coming to Babylon and acting like hoes, man, and that's gonna make the man weak. So that's why you got all these Ishmaelite weirdos now. Well, they've been weirdos, but now they're even more weirdos. And is as death. He who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay, so yeah, man, that's through the spirit, that's what's going on. Got all these rumors of wars, man. Okay, but we telling you, man. Okay, according to the scriptures, that these things are gonna happen. Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay, because this is Babylon the Great, man. Okay, the place of sin, man. Okay, so that's what we're doing now, man. We're prophesying of great evils, wars, and pestilence. Jeremiah 51, and I'm gonna go to Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. The Chaldeans, okay, the Edomites, man, okay, who was there, man? Okay, the Edomites, man, okay. Thou shalt be called no more tender and delicate. What was America? This big, great, amazing place, man. Okay, oh virgin daughter. Nothing has happened to this place, man. Okay, and this is not and still to this day, nothing has happened to this place. And even Jerusalem, something even has happened to Jerusalem. You got all that abominable things happening in that land. Okay, but not here though, man. I mean, you have abominable things happening here, but that used to be the land of the so-called of the Israelites, man. Okay, it used to be the land of our people. You know, how do you know they're not there no more? because they left black and they left black and came back white. Okay, Jeremiah 14:2. You know, so it's not speaking about it's not speaking about Jerusalem or any other place, and we can prove that all throughout the scriptures. But nevertheless, the Chaldeans, the Edomites. Okay, who is the Edomites ruling? Who are the Edomites today? Okay, well, you can go to Revelations on that. Okay, the deadly wound that was healed. Man. The Romans, man, are the Edomites, and that's a known fact. So-called white people, they are the Romans, and that deadly wound which was healed, Rome comes back to America, man. Okay, to the the big great beast, man. Okay, okay, no one can touch this place, man. Through his wickedness, of course. Okay, so the Edomites, man. Okay, this is the virgin daughter. Okay, because it hasn't been touched yet. Verse 2, take the millstones and grind meal, and cover thy locks, make bare the leg, and cover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Okay? So the Lord is going to send out a judgment on this place. That's what we're doing, man. We're prophesying that, man. Yahushua is not going to meet you as a man, okay? Because it was a known fact, man. He had eyes, his eyes were like, stones, and, he was perfect, you know, because he's sitting beside the Father. So, he's perfect, you know. So who are they talking about? The Son of God, man, okay? You know, and not making this shit gonna be uncovered. The wickedness of this place, man. It was always built upon lies and blood, man. And they shame is hitting them right now, man. You know, having women in the army, but it shows you that Esau he's the very deceitful man. Okay, because what happened to this strong? What happened to the strong? Great place that once was. So man, hey man, with that man, that was Hope Lord's Wilderness was just an edifying camp, man. I had to do a part two, but Lord's Wilderness was edifying. And with that, I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashah, Yahweh Shah.